Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a fantastic soup and sandwich combination for the fall. It's my white bean soup with sausage and kale combined with a Parmesan encrusted grilled cheese sandwich. It is such a comfort food classic that is perfect for a night when you just want to stay indoors and be cozy. So let me show you how to make this meal if you wanted to save the most amount of time, especially if you were hosting a group of friends to put this together. So in a large Dutch oven, you want to combine 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1.5 cups of diced yellow onion, and 1/2 cup of celery. You can season to taste with salt and pepper, and then cook your vegetables until they start to become tender and fragrant. At this point, we're going to add our beans. So I'm using cannellini beans, but sometimes you'll also see them labeled as just white beans. You want to make sure that you take them out of the can and give them a good rinse. So you don't want to dump them in straight from the can. And then to that, we're going to add 4 cups of chicken broth. Now, this is another thing that I've learned over the years when it comes to chicken broth. I find that the ones that are not low sodium have the best flavor. So unless you're dealing with sort of health considerations, I would always take just the full chicken broth. Don't go for the low sodium. And then you also want to add 5 sprigs of fresh rosemary, and you can just pop them in the pot. Then we're going to place the lid on the pot, and we're going to let this simmer for 10 minutes. And as that simmers, the beans are going to soften, and the broth is going to get infused with that beautiful rosemary. And that will just end up becoming a really nice undertone of flavor once our soup is pureed. Then after the 10 minutes is up, you can transfer the soup into a blender and puree it until it's nice and smooth. Then put it back into your cleaned out stock pot and taste it. And then if you feel it needs a little more salt and pepper, go ahead and season. Now, if you're party planning, what I would do is at this stage, let the soup cool down completely, place the lid on the pot, and place the pot in your refrigerator until you're ready to serve. Then when it comes time to serve your meal, this is what I would do. I would prepare the grilled cheese sandwiches first because you can keep them warm in a very low 250-degree oven. We are going to be working with sourdough bread. I think that's really a great bread to use for a grilled cheese sandwich because it's light but crunchy at the same time. And then we're going to brush one side with some melted butter. And then here comes the really decadent and delicious part. We're going to take some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, and we're going to place it on the buttered side of the bread. And you can press it in with your fingertips, just making sure it adheres. Then you want to use a non-stick griddle or pan. The non-stick is really key because that Parmesan will stick if you've used stainless steel. And then I like to use a more mild flavored cheese on the inside. So you've got that really strong Parmesan flavor on the outside and then something soft and sort of gooey on the inside. It's a great combination that doesn't fight each other. So I like to use either a provolone or a mozzarella would also be great. Then we're going to grill the sandwiches on each side until the cheese is melted and you start to get really nice color on the outside, and you'll see the Parmesan will kind of get crispy and encrusted into the bread, and it just makes for such a great crunch once it's done. And then keep them warm in a 250-degree oven. Then to prep the soup, you're going to go get your stock pot out of the fridge, place that on a very low simmer just to bring it up to temperature. And at this stage, it might have thickened while it sat in the fridge. You can just thin that with a little bit more chicken broth or some water. Then you can add a little bit of olive oil in the pan. And while that's heating up, we are going to remove the sausage from its casing. So I'm just working with sweet Italian sausage. If you wanted to give your soup a little bit of a kick, you could use the hot Italian sausage. That would also be good. And then you want to just kind of break it off into big chunks and place it in the skillet, and it'll start to brown on all sides. And while that's happening, you can go in with a wooden spoon and just cut maybe the chunks in half. You're basically looking for little bite-sized pieces. So you don't want them too big that when people bite into it, it's too hot because you've got this soup and it becomes really messy. You want it to be easy for your guests to eat. Then once it's fully cooked through, you can transfer the sausage with a slotted spoon onto a plate lined with paper towel, just to drain any of the grease off it. And then you can also prepare 2 leaves of kale. So the kale just needs to be stripped from the spine because you don't want to throw that part in. It's really kind of tough and hard to eat. And once you do that, you can give it a rough chop. Then you can place the sausage in the soup as well as the kale. And now your soup is ready to go. Then you can remove the sandwiches from the oven. And I like to cut them on the diagonal, which I think looks really pretty. So then what I like to do is either bring the soup pot to the table and let everybody serve themselves, sort of a fun family style, and then load up the sandwiches on a big platter. And you can even top it with just a little bit more Parmesan cheese and some fresh parsley. Now, if you would like another delicious and comforting soup to make this time of year, click this annotation and I'll show you how to make a classic French onion soup. I'll see you over there.